One of the best things about youth is just the fact that, you're still young enough that you're ignorant. And I don't mean ignorant in a bad way. I have no negative connotation associated with it when I tell you that. I mean it in the truest sense of the word. You just don't know. Like, you still have these unrealistic ambitions and you're dreaming these unrealistic dreams and you're willing to do things and be different just for the sake of being different. Like, you walk, you talk, your slang, your swag, everything about you, the way you dress. It has to be different. You don't want to be like nobody else. But something happens as, people get older. They get afraid of change. Like, they really start to conform. All of the beauty in, just being ignorant, it leaves them. For some reason, like they stop dreaming. They stop feeling like I can. And change becomes, it's a nightmare. It puts people in this paralysis state. It makes people so, like, I just don't want, I'm willing to do what I know. I want to do what's familiar to me. And they stop moving forward because of that. They would rather stay at the same place year over year over year just because it is familiar territory. And looking in front of them, looking toward the unknown, because it is just that, the unknown, they are too afraid to make a move, even if it made their life 10 times more fulfilled, 10 times better, 10 times more enriched, put more money in the bank. You know what? I'll forego all of that if it meant I stayed in the same place that I know, I understand it, I'm very familiar with it. And I think, because as we get older, many of my peers, and these are people who, they made a lot of money, they made great careers for themselves. These are not just regular people, these are heads of industries. And so many of them now, they're getting pushed out like things, the game changed, industry changes. The young people are graduating and the jobs are being consumed by the youth, and that's fine. Why is it so, and I try to remind them, I try to really put in their head, why are you so afraid to do something different? I understand what you're currently doing, you've been doing it, and you've been doing it for years, but you're telling me it doesn't fulfill you anymore. You're telling me that this is something I can do with my eyes closed. I know what the day is gonna be even before I get to the office. It's like it just doesn't do it for them anymore. But even though their world is getting smaller, they're slowly getting pushed out, they're getting less and less respect in the industry. For them, it's what they know, and they're willing to put up with it, and they're willing to hold on. They always tell me the same thing, like, this is the way I gotta pay my bills. Okay, no problem. What's so wrong with downsizing your life if it means that you're taking a step forward in a direction that will enrich your life, that you can make, you don't think if you did it before, if you're the head of an industry before, even if you got to take a step back, you don't have that much confidence in yourself that you can do it again? But people, and I really want you guys to understand and really think that one of the greatest gifts that God has ever given human beings is change. Like, nothing is the same. There are no two people on planet Earth. I don't care if you go to the edge of the world, you go to Indochina, like, nobody is the same. Like, you will never find a duplicate. Twins are not the same. The days are not the same. Months, the seasons are not the same. How we live today is far different from the way people lived 20 years ago or 100 years ago. And that is a blessing. Stop holding on to what is familiar. Stop holding on to what you know and embrace the unknown. It doesn't have, like, just because. And don't get me wrong, because I speak to some of my friends, and they know exactly what they want to do at this part of their life. They know exactly, but they're so afraid. Like, I've been working in this industry for the last 25, 35 years. that means I got to start again. I got to start from the bottom. Who says it's going to take you, so what? You start from the bottom. But you're now starting from the bottom with a wealth of information, with a database that is so extensive, with relationships. Like, you're not coming into the game the same way you came into the game when you was 20 years old. Although you might be starting new in a completely new industry, who's to say that it will take you more than 2-3 years to really get it up and get it popping in that industry? But they won't even allow themselves the chance to take that one step forward because they're so afraid and they're so busy holding on to that old life. And I'm asking you, let it go. Let that old life go. And don't get me wrong, there are people out there who have been married for 50 years, 80 years, or however long they've been married, and they still love each other to death. If they had to make a choice, they say, no, I would still be with this man, or I'd still be with this woman. But how many people that we know who have been together, and they're these high school sweethearts, and they've been together 10, 15, 20 years, and at the end of the day, yeah, on the outside, that looks wonderful. But inside that house, when she hear that dude put the key in the keyhole, she is running and jumping in that bed for fear that he just might want to touch her. She thinking like, please, Lord, do not let this man even try to put his hands on me. And he thinking the same thing. Like, he come home, he got urges, and he's like, yo, you know what? What I'm gonna do? Like I gotta take care of these urges, so I'm gonna just go ahead with this old thing, and God forgive me for that, but that's just what's going through the man's head, and nobody's happy. Now, I'm not telling you if you in a slump in your relationship to go and sever ties and keep it moving, but some things are old, they're dead, they're stinking, it's time to move on. Now, if it's just a rocky point, go to counseling. But sometimes it is time to move on, but you stay so much longer than you should, and you stay and you're giving away all your good years to a loveless relationship, knowing damn well, like, I still look good. When I look in the mirror, I know I can go out in the street and, men are going to be hollering. Go! You don't stay where it's just familiar just because this is what you know. And it's the same thing in business. I understand sometimes it's what you know, and it's what you're familiar with, and it's where you made your fortune, but it's okay to embrace what is before you. So please, if you find yourself in this position, I am begging you, I'm asking you, trust God, trust the future, and stop hanging on to that old life. Embrace your future. Peace and love, guys. Make every move a power move, and I'll catch you all on the next video. What's up, guys? Thanks for sticking with me to the end of the video. Truly appreciate you. If you like anything you heard here today, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you know anybody that can benefit from this message, feel free to share. Peace and love.